Ladies and gentlemen, Manchester United are out of the Champions League. We'll be joining Arsenal and Spurs as the new Chuckle Brothers Chuckle Trio will be entering the Europa League. And ultimately, today's just one of the saddest days that I've ever witnessed as a Manchester United fan. And I've got a lot of things to say. What's up, everybody? It's the Aidan Sports Show. And welcome back to another video. Today, Manchester United lost to RB Leipzig 3-2 in a very poor fashion. Disgraceful performances from the boys tonight, and ultimately comes down to a very sad day in football, and one that I'm probably going to want to forget sooner than later. Before we get any further, please like and subscribe to the Aidan Sports YouTube channel. Turn notifications on. Let me know in the comments below about your opinion on the match, and ultimately, I guess, how do you feel about being in the Europa League? I guess it's better than nothing. I guess it's better than not being in any league, but I can't lie. I'm not happy that I'm in the Europa League, and I'm not happy that we played the way that we played tonight. I think we were absolutely abysmal. I feel like there's a lot of things that need to change at this club because this was the biggest game that we've ever had this year. And not only was it a disgraceful performances from the defence and from the attackers tonight, but it was extremely frustrating to know that when the chips are down, when your backs are against the wall, when you have nothing left but to give everything that you have, we leave things way too late and we end up letting ourselves down. It is our own fault that we're out. We are our own biggest enemy. Conceding 2 goals so early and then having to concede the third before we get back into the game, before we get 2 goals. It's just not good enough for a team. How do you expect us to be at the top flight of football when we're conceding goals the way that we do? This is not an acceptable performance from anybody, and Manchester United alone should be looking at this and realising the problems that are at Manchester United. Now, there was a very big disgrace that happened outside of Manchester United's game today, and it was against PSG versus Istanbul, and I wanted to bring this in before I go in on this team, Manchester United, before I absolutely just lose everything. There was a racism incident that happened between Istanbul and PSG. Obviously, the referee said some things that should never be said on a football pitch at all. And I think that game got suspended. I'm very unsure if that game continued. I don't think it did continue. I think it ended up staying suspended. So they will play again another day, I believe. If not, I think if they do continue, doesn't really matter. PSG are through, Istanbul are through. But I think the way that PSG and Istanbul handled it, walking off of the pitch at that time, was very strong message, especially in the Champions League game where it means a lot for both teams. I wish they would have stayed off just to prove how strong this message that racism should not be allowed in football or anywhere around the world. So, in my opinion, I reckon the game should have been cancelled. It should have been played another day just to give that strong influence to the people that want to watch these teams play, that racism's not on. And it's a shame that racism is actually a thing within the game. Like, fans is one thing. There's always going to be some stupid people that say some stupid stuff. But the fact that there's a referee, it's just, I can't believe it. It just shows that racism truly is everywhere. And we need to have a big step in the world to try and stop things like this from happening in every sport, in every situation around the world. So, yeah, I just wanted to say, like, I'm very sorry for the person. Again, I don't know the players' names. I'm very sorry for the person that had to go through that. I did see a lot of things on Twitter about that person educating the referee. Even if it is in a very harsh way, you need to learn these things. These are unacceptable things that have happened today. So I feel sorry for both teams. I feel sorry. This is a disgrace that it happened. But we're going to move on. Let's talk about Manchester United. Now, there are 3 things today that are going to make me, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, out from today going forward. Because, yes, we've been in a good run of form. Yes, we did have a lot of comeback victories in this stretch. And, yes, we are 4th in the Premier League. But there are 3 things tonight that drove me over the edge and made me not want to believe in this scheme anymore. And that goes from the ownership to the board to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer and the coaching staff. Actually, there's 4 things. 1, you did not start Donny van de Beek. Now, I understand you want to be a defensive-minded team. That is the second thing we're going to go into, by the way. But You've lost one of your best players in Fred, who brings energy, who brings vibrancy, who was one of the best players against RP Leipzig. And you have the chance to bring Donny van de Beek in that starting lineup from the get-go that can give the same things that Fred does. Donny van de Beek on the half-time was far and away the best player on the pitch for that game. That entire game, Donny van de Beek was one of the best players on the pitch, and he only played for one half. You could have had that for 90 minutes. Now, granted, we probably still would have lost that game because the goals we conceded were just unacceptable at top quality football. It just is. It's as simple as that. And we probably still would have lost that game. But I would have had a lot more respect for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer if he played the players that should have played today. Matic doesn't start a game for God knows how long, and yet he gets the starting lineup in a game that's so important to us. And Nemanja Matic played awful today. So did Scott McTominay. So these are things where at the end of the day, it's not going to matter because there's more in this situation where we're going to back the players, even in this situation. But still, the fact that you didn't even start Paul Pogba, and you didn't start Donny van de Beek either, in my opinion, is a disgrace of a starting lineup. And once again, the rotation was switched. We played a different formation, and we just looked awful while doing it. Second thing, you went to RP Leipzig to park the bus. You played 5 at the back. You allowed two strikers that have no hold-up play to try and hold the ball up, and they man-marked Bruno Fernandes out of the game, and you made the substitutions that you made way too late. What are RP Leipzig good at? Most people should know this if they watch football. They're good at pressing, and they're good at controlling the game off the ball and on the ball. They are a fantastic team when it comes to controlling the tempo of a game. So what did we do as a Manchester United team? We allowed them to control the tempo of the game. How are we going to end up ever winning that game if we allowed to give them control? If we gave them control, we allowed them to play the way they wanted to play against us. Yes, we came very, very close to getting a draw out of that game. But that draw was 100% not well-deserved if we got it. The second goal wasn't that well-deserved, to be honest. And neither was the first one. So, yeah, we technically came close, but we should have easily lost that game 3-0 and left it at that, because Manchester United came into this game to park the bus, to be conservative, to get a draw, and we got what we deserved today. And that is the second reason I'm only going to Solskjaer out. The third reason, and I think the most important reason, you made a statement by not starting Paul Pogba today. And that statement was that you do not disrespect Manchester United. And Paul Pogba, look, I like Paul Pogba as a human being. I will always like Paul Pogba as a human being. But his agent is a scumbag. I'm sorry, his agent did Manchester United dirty. And it's unacceptable that the things that his agent said, which is probably what Paul Pogba was feeling inside that his agent said, and you played Paul Pogba, you allowed him to come off as a bench player. Now, Paul Pogba should have not played at all today. Yes, I understand he was contributed to the second goal. I think most people are in agreement that Paul Pogba should not have played today at all. Again, we're chasing a game. I guess it was emergency, anything, just throw everybody that we have onto the pitch and see what we can do. But if we were going to lose that game, I would have much rather lost. And I probably would have been all in if we did lose this game and Paul Pogba didn't play, to be honest. But since Paul Pogba played, I think that took me over the edge. Because if you're going to make a statement, stick by the damn statement. Don't change the statement because we're losing a game. Paul Pogba is not going to be the future of Manchester United. Paul Pogba wants to leave Manchester United. Paul Pogba's time is over at Manchester United. If all of these things are true, then why are you playing Paul Pogba in a game like this? When in the future, he's not going to be here. He's not going to care. And yes, he did look like he cared today. He put in a shift today. He was probably the best player on the pitch today. But the fact of the matter is he should not have been playing in the first place. And the message is now that Manchester United are laughingstocks of the Premier League and every single fan base. We are the laughingstock now. And we're also seen as pushovers, because any player can come out there and bash the club that we love. Any player's agent that can come in there and bash the club that we love, and they'll be allowed to play here still. So if I was a Manchester United player and I didn't want to play there, I could just tell my agent to go and bash this club for me. And if my agent does it, I'll still be able to play here because happy days. I'm not going to get any punishment. So It's a disgrace. It's a disgrace that he played. And yes, I predicted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was going to start him. I predicted Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was starting him before I even knew the entire situation. I knew something had happened, but I didn't know the whole situation when I made my predictions video. But once I fully understood what happened, he should have not played today. It's as simple as that. He should have not played. So those three things are the reason why I'm Ole out. And the fourth reason is plain and simply, we were awful. We were awful. We were just so dreadful today. And I'm sick and tired of going 1-0, 2-0, 3-0 down to try and make a comeback. I don't want to be that team. That team will never have any long-term success if you're going 1-0 down, 2-0 down, 3-0 down. Yes, we are a fantastic, spirited team. We showed a lot of character to bring 2 goals back. But I do not want to be the team known as going 1-0 down every single game and trying to get a win from that. How hard do you want to make this season for yourself? How difficult does it have to be for Manchester United to concede every single game and try to make their way to come back? You're making the season 10 times harder than it needs to be. There are simply ways to stop that. And I'm sorry, the coaching staff in this position is not good enough. The defensive coaches for Manchester United needs to get sacked as soon as possible because they are letting they're letting the team down, and so is the defense of Manchester United. I don't think there's one defender that's going to get an average score today, and the reason why is they were dreadful. All of them were dreadful, and we need to see better. We need to see better. Whether it's better quality, better transfers, I don't know what it is, but we need to see better from the Manchester United team across the board. So yes, I'm Ole out. Am I going to praise it every time I make a Manchester United video? No, because I don't feel like it's the right time. It's the right place to do that. Manchester United today was hit with some massive disrespect, was hit with some tragic news, was hit with something that no team should ever go through. And the fact that teams do go through this is appalling. And the way the players treat the club and the way the agents disrespect the club, any club, is appalling. So today is more than that. It's more than just I'm Ole out and I'm always going to say I am. I'm not going to even mention it ever again. But just know that this video, and maybe I'll make another video stating it as well, I am Ole out tonight. And it's very sad to say, but I just don't see how Ole is going to save his job, going 1-0 down all the time, changing his formation all the time, putting players in positions that they're not used to all the time, and still having a spot here. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has brought tremendous success to Manchester United in the way that we play, in terms of that we have played a little bit more attacking football than we're accustomed to so far since Alex Ferguson left. I think he's done a lot in terms of the achievements here. We finished 3rd last season and we looked like a really good team. But the fact of the matter is, I can't sit here and defend that today. I can't sit here and lie to myself and say that I'm Ole in after what I saw today. When Pogba came on, I knew straight away that I was going to be Ole out tonight. So, it's just that it's my gut. It's the way that I feel. I'm not going to turn my back on my feelings and go with the crowds. I am what I am, and tonight I am Ole out. So, with that being said, let's move into the player ratings for today. Look, I know it was 3-2, but this result it's a 3-0 for me. It feels like a 3-0. The penalty should be a 3-1 because the penalty was a penalty. But I think everywhere else, I don't think that second goal means anything, and I don't think that us getting a result within 10 minutes of the game, if we did get a draw, is good enough. It's not good enough. So yeah, we're back in the Europa League. Let's first things first. David De Gea. I actually am going to give David De Gea a 5 because I think for the 3rd goal and for the first goal, he could have done a tad bit better. For the first goal, it's a fantastic shot from Angelino, so there's not much you could do about that. But I think if he didn't go for his legs and tried maybe to go with his hands and actually dived onto the floor, he might have been able to save that shot. But that's just nitpicking. And the 3rd goal, he turned his back to the ball. If he went fully committed into that, put his body on the line, I really think he would have got there. And again, those are 2 things where it's other players' mistakes. But I think David De Gea also could have done better. So I think he deserves the 5 tonight. I don't think he was outstanding. I don't think he had anything else to do. I think for the 3rd goal especially, he could have done a little bit better. But nitpicking at the end of the day. If anybody's blaming David De Gea for anything for this loss, I think you don't know much about football. So, yes, he gets a low rating, and yes, he could have done a bit better, but he's definitely not to blame for this loss. Far from it. There are so many players that deserve the criticism for this loss. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I'm sorry. Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I'm going to be extremely harsh. Wan-Bissaka, in my opinion, is getting a 3. And the reason why is he was mucked around with positioning the entire game. Angelino had him on a string in terms of positioning. Now, yes, one-on-one, Aaron Wan-Bissaka is very, very good. And no one's going to beat him in a 1v1 situation very often. But when it comes to positionally, Aaron Wan-Bissaka, I don't know if it's a coaching thing or I don't know if it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka himself. If it's a coaching thing, sack those coaches. If it's Aaron Wan-Bissaka, drop him until he learns his lesson, because simply that is unacceptable at this level of football. To allow your man every single game to constantly be open from the positional sense of tucking into Victor Lindelof. Now, Victor Lindelof is not the greatest centre-back in the world, but I thought Victor Lindelof today was leaps and bounds the best defender on the pitch. And he's not going to get a great score because, of course, we conceded 3 goals and he was part of it as well. So, but, Jesus, just defend the far post. How hard is it to defend the far post from across? Why do you tuck in every single time? Like, surely as a right back and as a right back for multiple teams, you would understand the concept of the back post, guarding the back post, watching your man, just look at your man, know your positioning. It's unacceptable. If Aaron Wan-Bissaka is going to keep on doing this, I don't care if you're the best tackler in world football, which you probably are, to be fair. I don't care if you're the best tackler in world football. If you cannot guard the back post, then there's no need for you here. You should get benched and you should learn your lesson and you should not come back and play for Manchester United until you understand the concept of guarding the back post. And if it is a coaching thing, then again, it just shows that Ollie is not right for the job and the coaching staff behind him is letting the team down massively. Because every player on that defensive line today was piss poor. Piss poor. And yeah, that's all I have to say. Victor Lindelof, I'm giving Victor Lindelof a 5. I actually thought he was definitely not at fault for any of the goals today. But again, as part of a dreadful defense, he gets caught down in the results as well. Now, I feel a little bit sorry for Victor Lindelof because he's going to be the one that's targeted, as is a bunch of our players tonight. He will get targeted as one of them. But I truly feel like Victor Lindelof was not at fault for anything tonight. I actually thought Victor Lindelof read the play very well, had a good game. He had a yellow card before he came off, and he did come off for some aerial presence in the box if there was going to be another corner later on. So it was a tactical way to take Victor Lindelof off, but I don't think he had a bad game at all. But again, when your team makes the mistakes that they make, and Victor Lindelof was sort of at fault for the first goal as well. I mean, just because Wan-Bissaka's man scored it, I think Victor Lindelof could have done a little bit better. The fact of the matter is, every single player in this defense deserves criticism tonight. Harry Maguire is getting a 2 out of 10. Harry Maguire was awful. Awful. The third goal, how he allowed that to go through as a centre-back for Manchester United is abysmal. Terribly abysmal. Yes, Harry Maguire can win headers away from the box. Harry Maguire can win headers in our box. Harry Maguire is a fantastic passer of the ball from passing out from the back. But some simple defending, if you can't defend a simple cross into the box, if you overrun the ball, how do you overrun the ball when literally the ball is crossed, you're behind the ball? How do you overrun and end up going past the ball? That is poor, and you're getting a 2 out of 10 for that. That is not an acceptable play from Manchester United. The fact that goal went in is Harry Maguire's fault 100%. And he knows it. You saw his reaction. He knows he was at fault for that goal. So there's no defending that tonight. Harry Maguire, in my opinion, has had a fantastic month, has had steady games, has actually played decently well. But that performance and that result and that specific style of defense was shambolic. And that was... I don't think even Arsenal would say that they defend like that. That was truly awful defending. I mean, Arsenal last season would have never let that goal go in. Let me just tell you, it's as simple as that. And again, we've conceded from a set piece. We conceded from a set piece. This is the 4th game in a row now, I believe, or the 5th game that in a row that we've conceded from a set piece. So, do I need to go any further as to why I am Ollie out tonight? I just... We have to do better. We have to do better. Luke Shaw, I don't really... To be honest, I did not notice Luke Shaw at all. I know he saved a goal from Wan-Bissaka's stupid flick. And that's all I really saw from Luke Shaw today. I feel sorry for Luke Shaw. He was definitely better than Alex Telles tonight, and that's why he stayed on the pitch. I'm giving Luke Shaw a 5. I don't know if that's generous. I don't know if that's lenient. I really don't care, because the fact of the matter is, we're in the Europa League, and I don't care what these players get, because all of them let us down tonight. So, I couldn't care less. I simply could not care less about what Luke Shaw got, but he's getting a 5. If I'm wrong, then I'm wrong. Alex Telles was awful tonight, and I'm giving him a 2 out of 10. I think he lost the ball more than anybody on the team, and as a left-back, that is very sad to see. I understand he was a wing-back tonight. Look, I'm putting it on himself. Of course, you have to a performance like Alex Telles' tonight. You have to put on yourself. He has to take responsibility for that. But I'm also putting on Ollie because this guy has just come into the Premier League, just come into the Champions League, just come into Manchester United, and you're playing him already in 2 different positions. Now, of course, a bad performance. Alex Telles is one of the best left-backs in the world. You have to take it on the chin when you're having terrible performances. That was one of the worst performances at left-back I've seen in a long time. And yes, that includes Brandon Williams in that lineup. I want to see better from Alex Telles. Now, I'm not going to slate him. I'm not going to say that he's not good enough because that's not the time. He's still adapting. He's still a new player. All these things will be known over time. We don't need to criticize him now. But take that on the chin, Alex Telles. Know that your performance wasn't good. And in the Premier League now, it's time to retaliate. It's time to step up. No more unacceptable performances. You could tell Alex Telles is a very passionate man. And he's very passionate about this club. And at the end of the day, at least he wants to be here. So I would take a poor performance from Alex Telles and actually know that he wants to be here and he's willing to fight here, then have a bad performance and not want to be here. So fair play, honestly. The fact that he actually wants to be here. But yeah, he needs to be better, and I think he knows that. And we'll wait and see if he improves his performances over the course of the weeks, months, year, however long he is here. Moving into the CDMs, Matic, I'm giving Matic a 4. I don't know if that's generous. Again, it's one of those ones. I don't know if it's generous. I don't know if it's lenient. I don't know if it's harsh. I just did not notice Nemanja Matic at all. The only time I noticed him was him running back. Was just running back constantly, out of position a lot. I didn't notice him at all. I'm giving him a 4 because the midfield lost that game for us today once again. And Scott McTominay is going to get a 3. I thought Scott McTominay was awful. What did he provide today? Passing, dreadful. I literally saw Scott McTominay within not even a 5-yard pass. It was literally within 3 yards. Pass to the wrong player. And look, Scott McTominay is one of those players that at least he wants to be here once again. But you cannot ignore bad performances. Just because Scott McTominay loves being here, loves to play for Manchester United, and a lot of people are going to be backing these players tonight, you simply cannot ignore the facts. And the fact is Scott McTominay had a bad game tonight. And these are things you simply cannot ignore. You cannot, and it's not acceptable as well. But again, this is something that I'm going to be talking about more in depth at other times because tonight's not the time. I'm not going to call these players shit. I'm not going to call these players trash. They had bad performances. Own up to it because now we're in the Europa League. Now we're in a position where top 4 meant nothing. So we need to go and fight in the Premier League again, and we need to go and fight in the Europa League again. Not acceptable enough. And we'll go further into detail about that. And we wait and see. Bruno Fernandes is getting a 5 out of 10. I know he scored a goal, but put it simply, I think he got an assist as well. I'm pretty sure unless Pogba got the assist for the second goal. I think Bruno was the one that took the corner. So he could have got a goal and assist today, which is, again, this is Bruno for you. Bruno was man-marked out of the game. Bruno had nothing to do. Bruno wasn't turning the ball over as much. Bruno wasn't getting the ball as much, but he scored a penalty. He ended up, I believe he was the cross that got the ball to the assist, to the inside the goal for the second goal. All these things, and this wasn't a great game for him today. All I could say is he's a 5 because he just got man-marked completely out of the game, which Leipzig did a very good job on him. Moving on to the strikers, giving Mason Greenwood a 5 as well. Not good enough. I didn't notice him that much. Only had a few shots on goal. Was very, very selfish. Could have easily got an assist to Marcus Rashford today. Took it on himself. Again, striker's mentality. I'm not going to put too much into that. He's a striker. He beat his man. I expect him to at least score a goal from there because of how often that he has scored in the past. But wasn't his day today. That's all I have to put it down to. His effort was there. His skill was there. But the decision-making wasn't. And I think the clinicalness wasn't there for him tonight, which is something you just have to put down to. It's not his day. Same with Marcus Rashford. I'm going to give Marcus Rashford 5 as well. Didn't have that much service. Again, he was one of those players where he just had to run, and that was the only thing that he could do. His decision-making wasn't great once again. But I don't think he was anywhere near worse than the midfielders and the centre-backs and the full-backs in general that we had today. So I think 5 is only a fair score for him. Let's go on to the bench. The bench consisted of... Brandon Williams came on. I thought Brandon Williams was very bad today, so I'm giving him a 5. Paul Pogba came on. Look, Paul Pogba, whatever you want to say about Paul Pogba, I think he responded today with effort. He played hard today, but the fact that stories like this come out about him, which he has not denied, and that's what it takes for him to play for the shirt, he should have never played today. But I'm going to be fair. I'm not going to say I'm not going to give him a score because that's just not how I do things. I thought Paul Pogba was a 7 out of 10 today. He shouldn't have played. I'll say it every single day of the week. He should not have played. But he did play, and he played all right. So I guess people might praise Ollie for that. I think most people will say that Ollie got it wrong there tonight. Donny van de Beek came on and also is a 7 out of 10 player. Instant impact. As soon as he came on, this team looked such a different team. And this is the big reason again why Ollie, for me, got it wrong. You can simply not keep dropping this player and expecting fans to back you. You simply cannot do it. How many times has Donny van de Beek come on and had a great performance, or started and had a great performance, and in the next game he's tossed to the side like he's nothing to this club? It's not good enough from this club to even be considering benching him the way that we do. It's criminal the way that we treat Donny van de Beek. So it's an adjustment period. I feel so sad that this is how we're treating a player that actually wants to be here. So I hope to see a change in either Ollie's pickings. Hopefully Donny plays more. Or whoever does come in, I hope they use Donny van de Beek the right way, the way that he should be used. Who else came on? Twanzebe came on, 6 out of 10, did nothing really. Foster Mensah came on, did nothing really, 6. Both of them did really, really poorly in terms of losing the ball. I think that's it. That's all I can think of, at least. Now, we're in the Europa League, ladies and gentlemen. We're back where we belong, to be honest. Manchester United had 3 chances to take us into the promised land, to qualify into the Champions League, and even to top it. Yes, we're the group of hell, or whatever it's called, but we failed because of us. We could have beat Istanbul and qualified, and we didn't. We could have beat PSG to qualify, and we didn't. And we could have beat Istanbul or Leipzig, or even draw to them, and we didn't. Yes, we won the first 3 games, but we lost the 3 after that, and it's not good enough. It's not good enough, and it just shows the inconsistencies that we have. We won 3 and we lost 3, and now we're in the Europa League. We're fighting once again for the second most prestigious European title, the last most European as well in the Europa League. I don't want to be in the Europa League. I don't like waking up on Thursdays at 7 a.m. to watch a team I barely know play. I don't like that. I want to be in this league. I want to be in the Champions League. But this team let me down. The coaching staff let me down. Certain players let me down. I'm disappointed, but I saw this coming. I saw this coming from the starting lineup, and I saw it coming from the second minute when they scored the first goal. I saw this coming, and I'm not going to scream. I'm not going to shout. I feel dead inside because of what this team did to me tonight, but it is what it is. This is my true feeling. When it's time for me to scream and shout, I'll scream and shout, but I just don't feel like that today. I feel disappointed. I feel let down. I feel betrayed. I feel devastated. I feel like Manchester United need changes, need a breath of fresh air. And I don't know if it's the coaching staff. I don't know if it's brand new signings. But I think this is going to get worse before it gets better for us. So the board, the owners have a tough decision to make. Obviously, selling Paul Pogba won't be easy for them now, considering he has a very bad reputation right now. Getting players in January is going to be very, very tough again. We're going to have to pay over the odds to get players into this team. And play teams like Aston Villa, teams like even a Dortmund or anybody, any team player that we are interested in, not many teams are going to want to sell in January. So it's a very bad time right now. Negativity is running wild. We've got a Manchester derby to look forward to, and we're all looking with our heads down. And I think, I truly think that the only way this gets better is if the board in January just go all out. Just go all out, bring some players into this team. Make Manchester United feel vibrant again. Paul Pogba leaves in January and allow more players to get brought in January. Make this month, make January the best month that we could possibly have. Because that's the only way I see this getting better. I already think December's a lost cause, to be honest. It's so early into December and we're experiencing all these terrible things. So that's what I want to see. Is Ole going to get sacked? I don't know. At this point, I am Ole out, but I think this is the last or second last video because I might make I'm an Ole out video, maybe. This is the last video I'm going to talk about it. I'm Ole out, but there's no need to carry it on and say it every single match reaction, win, lose, or draw. So thank you guys for watching. Apologize for the half an hour video. Please like and subscribe if you're new. If you stayed till the end of this video, let me know what you thought. Also, how you feeling right now. I think not many, unless you're a rival fan, I reckon rival fans will be bloody ecstatic tonight with the way that we've lost and what's been happening to us today. But if you're a Man United fan, let me know in the comments below. Also, if you're a rival fan, like if this happened to you, how would you feel? And yeah, anyway, have a wonderful day. I'll see you in another Manchester United video. We've got a Manchester derby. I'm going to try my best to get hyped for that, but this team has really brought me down deep in the muds tonight. And I simply don't know how excited I am for many games to come from Manchester. I'm really not. I'm not that excited anymore. I've lost that excitement because of everything that's happened, man. It's not easy losing a game like this, and we've just taken a massive step back, and I didn't think that tonight would be that night. But it's happened to us. We have to accept it and move on. It's a tough loss. Every loss is tough, but this one really hits hard. Anyway, take care and peace.